felt that with the company being so distributed, that the culture of the company was starting to disintegrate. And by having a single place where everybody, regardless of their geographic location, could go, they felt that that might help to restore a more universal culture. So the project that we worked on at Sun was now called Open Wonderland. It's a 3D virtual world that was built specifically for business collaboration. We did this project in open source. I don't know if all of you are familiar with that, but open source is essentially the software is in the public domain. It's free, and anybody can use it. So because it's free, we ended up having a lot of educators in our community, and so even though we designed it for business collaboration, people got very interested in using it for distance education, and that's still the case. So using Open Wonderland, you can do lots of different things. You can build, just like with the web toolkit, you can build almost any kind of virtual world with Open Wonderland. So you can use it for collaborating with documents. One of our main tenets in building this software is that you had to be able to do real work inside the environment. You had to be able to work on a spreadsheet together. You had to be able to work on slides together, browse the web together, and so forth. Of course, the 3D space is particularly good for 3D visualization. So for things like medical research, biotech, scientific visualization, it's great for those sorts of things. Simulation also, our workplace resources group at Sun used the virtual world to simulate some of the new designs for team rooms, and had teams come into the virtual space to try it out and gather feedback. So you can even think of simulation in that regard. Mixed reality is another thing that I think a lot of you here are probably interested in, where some people can be gathered in the virtual world and connected to people who are gathered in the physical world via video that's inside the virtual world. And then integrating with the real world, so making a mirror world of an existing one. This, on the slide here, this is somebody that did a Sun data center. And what was really cool about this is that you can, it's hard to see, but this is a terminal. And avatars, you could have like 3 system administrators in there, each working on a terminal, actually administering those Sun workstations. They could, they were in 3 geographic places, and they could be working together, administering this data center, actually doing the real work of administering it. Other people are interested in this for controlling buildings. So you have a virtual version of the building that you can use to tag, where did all the materials come from. So 3 years later, when you need to order a new replacement window, you can go to the virtual model and look up, where did that window come from and what was the vendor. So what I want to do is, because I think this whole area of brainstorming is really significant, I want to spend the rest of my time here just talking about that. So brainstorming is hard because for a variety of reasons. So at Sun, people were taught this style of brainstorming called affinity style, where I'm sure many of you have done this. Everybody sits down, there's some question posed, you each individually write out some ideas on sticky notes, then the group converges, you put the sticky notes up on a board, everybody organizes them, and then you do some kind of voting or discussion, and then you repeat the cycle. So there were many reasons, and I'm sure you can imagine why this is hard to do remotely. There are audio issues. Everybody says, oh, it just feels so dead. There's no energy. There's not that, knowledge in the air kind of feeling. And the logistics of people working solo and then converging and dividing is very difficult to do remotely. And also just the whole mechanics of sharing and organizing the sticky notes is laborious. So in the virtual world, we have a sticky note tool, and people can divide, create their notes, and then converge and come together and look at each other's notes. Also, somebody in our open source community built this card wall, where it's a little bit more formal tool for organizing the notes. So what I'm going to do is get out of the slides and show you a quick video. Oops.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we got some pretty good ones.
I did.
Each of us finds images in our browser or on our desktop to drop into the world to share with the group. Okay, so I'm just going to pause it there. So what's happening here, we're dropped in the middle of a session. This is a brainstorming session about a logo, designing a new logo. So people were asked to find some images that might be inspirational for this logo design. All items that people create while standing on the pad will be associated with the pad.
Oh, I like that.
Whatever it is.
You know, the repetition, I think, says something.
To make space for more brainstorming, we can use the tools to move the pad plus all the images out of the way. On a new pad, we can each generate some ideas using sticky notes.
See, I put down awesome, full functionality.
So the group
and
is
lead.
converging now.
How would you capture that in a logo?
So what I want to leave you with is a thought for the future. One of the visions that I have is that in the future, your workplace, rather than being a physical place, will be a virtual place. So your primary workplace would be in the virtual world. And then when you come to the physical world, I envision the team rooms and individual offices where every surface you can project onto. And so you tap your badge into that room, and suddenly your workplace is surrounding you. But not only your stuff, but the people that you want to collaborate with. So not only do I get all the stuff that I'm working on, but I get my teammates too. So they're there in the virtual world, and I can just talk to them. I don't have to do anything other than lift my head up and say, hey, John, what do you think about blah? But as soon as my phone rings, everything goes on mute. Right? The virtual curtain gets drawn, and I have privacy. So to flip things around. So rather than thinking about primary workplaces in the physical space, think about them in the virtual world, because you can access them from anywhere then. And wherever you are, your workplace is there with your stuff and your colleagues. So that's my food for thought. And if you'd like to learn more, here's the information.